So there's this trending discussion of what does a woman bring to the table? What's her contribution? People asking when they're about to date somebody or when they're thinking of taking a relationship further. So what do you bring to the table as a woman? I find the question very funny. Firstly, because mainly when that question is being asked, it's referring basically to financial contributions, and it reduces the marital relationship to a transactional thing. So I'm bringing this, what are you bringing? And anybody who has been married for any length of time knows that marital relationships that are going to last cannot be transactional. But since some people have decided to ask, what do you bring versus what I bring? Let's go there. First of all, in a marriage, a woman's identity changes. Remember that I'm speaking within an African context, within our culture. But even globally, the woman changes her name first and foremost. Most times, in most cases, the woman changes her name and takes on the identity of her husband's family. So she takes on his name. And then as women begin to have children and all that, her body goes through tremendous change. So you may find this slim babe transforming into this big woman you're like, what? Where did this person come from? Because of the transformation her body has gone through from childbirth multiple times, most of the time. And so you can't even recognize yourself. I've known people who have permanent disabilities from going through childbirth. I know somebody personally whose foot grew bigger because she had a child. Not both feet, one foot grew by a shoe size. So now, one foot is bigger than the other in terms of size, a whole size bigger. Women are going through a lot to have those children. And I really don't know where this idea came from that it's the woman that gains more in marriage, or that somehow she has this advantage over the children. The children are both the man's and the woman's. They belong to both of them. And in that process, it is the woman that has to carry that child through pregnancy, bear that child, and nurture that child, especially in the early part of their life. The man cannot contribute to that process. He can't. Only she can do that. So she brings that to the table. Most of the time, we look at the contributions strictly in financial terms. But there's something called mental loading. That is the amount of mental work that goes into organizing and managing a household. Do you know what it is? It's a whole lot. It's not just getting the job done. Because if we're just about getting the job done, you could hire a cook, you could hire a maid, you could hire a driver, conceptualization and organization of it. Moreover, if you were hiring every one of those staff to do everything that a woman does, do you know how much you would pay for that? Running a home is not as easy as eating rice and stew. See, people get paid for thinking strategically at their workplaces. In fact, the higher up the professional ladder you go, the less hands-on your work is going to be. And the thing you are getting paid for is your ability to think, to manage, and to organize. And guess what? Your salary is increasing for that. So the better you are at managing and organizing, the higher your pay goes. But even if you could get people to do all those things, nobody's going to put in the heart that a woman puts into running her own home. Nobody's going to put it in. Managing a home is even more difficult than managing a business because there are several moving parts. And most importantly, there are kids involved. And everybody that has worked with kids knows that taking care of children, ensuring they don't get hurt, ensuring they are fed, ensuring they are clothed, ensuring that everything is working with kids around is one of the most difficult jobs in the world. Just ask teachers. You know how we feel as parents sometimes when there's holiday and just like, oh no, why can't these kids just go back to school? So that is part of what a woman brings to the table. There's the mental load. That mental load is something else. It's a lot. Thinking, okay, what's going to happen for dinner? The fact that if I do not think through this process and get things moving, they won't get done. It's a lot. Somebody has to manage the entire process of that household, even if they are not paying financially for it. And that is a major contribution. And you may say that, oh, you know, this is Africa, we have house helps, we have people, we have support systems, we have people that can help. All right. As things are becoming more and more expensive and westernized, it's becoming more and more difficult for us to get domestic help. Difficult in terms of getting the right help because a lot of people are choosing education over that kind of work, quite understandably so. And it's even becoming very expensive to hire helps. Who bears the brunt of that? It's the woman in most cases. She's the one to stay at home and deal with things on the domestic front because the salary you would earn would almost cover that at the end of the day. And so women are contributing that. It just makes more sense that if a woman is going to be the one nurturing children, she's going to be the one, having more kids and everything, then she should be the one at home. She's more suited for it anyway. So what are we saying? She brings that to the table. And guess what? Very, very few men are able to provide 100% of the finances required to run a home. Because all we tend to look at most times are the finances for maybe school fees, rent, and all that. How about the woman's needs too? Her needs and then her wants. Let's even say she tempered it down. Everybody is entitled to needs and wants. Everybody needs clothes. She needs toiletries. We need things. Who provides that? Can the man provide 100% of it? In many homes, the woman has to maybe take care of those things by herself. Otherwise, they don't get taken care of. And so she's still making financial contributions. But guess what? Her ability to make those financial contributions are hampered because of the role she has to play at home. So, why are we asking what a woman brings to the table? Women, if anybody asks you what you bring to the table, first and foremost, I'm not really sure that relationship is right for you because that person has shown that it's a transactional relationship. Marriage is not a transactional relationship. Business relationships are transactional. Financial relationships are transactional. But you see, friendships, marriages, personal relationships are not transactional. And the minute it starts turning transactional, then there's going to be a split. There's going to be a problem. And so if you're a young lady and a man is asking you, what do you bring to the table? First and foremost, that's a red flag. And I don't think you should ignore it because it's going to haunt you further down the line. But in case you're a man watching this video and you're tempted to ask, what do women bring to the table? You've heard it. Women bring a lot to the table, especially if she's a woman that is doing the traditional feminine roles of home care and all that. And even if she's not, even if you're hiring people to do that, believe me, the coordination of it, the mental loading of it is a lot to bring to the table. The fact that you're thinking here, thinking of that, thinking of so many things is a lot to bring to the table. Every child that is born potentially could have taken the life of that woman. She brings that to the table. So, number one, the question is flawed because it makes the relationship transactional. But in case you are tempted to ask, we've discussed it. There you have it. Women bring a lot to the table. Women know what you bring to the table. Men, I don't think it's the question you should be asking. I hope you learned something from today's video. Tell me in the comments below. Remember to like my video, to share it with somebody who needs to hear it, and definitely remember to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my interesting videos. Till I come your way again next time. Ciao!